dumbbell shoulder press. When I get into the kneeling position, I want to be mindful of my knee relative to my hip. I want my knee to be directly under my hip, and I want my right glute to be squeezed on to kind of help stabilize my pelvis. I'm going to push my front heel into the ground, and I often take my off hand and put it on my rib cage to feel if I'm compensating into my low back. Because if you're compensating into your low back, typically your ribs are going to kind of open up and they'll push out into your hand. You'll be able to feel that with the off hand. So whatever knee is up, I'm going to be pressing with the opposite hand, or some people will say whatever knee is down, the same arm is pressing. So from here, glute turned on the right side, left foot pushed into the ground. I'm kind of contracting my abs down to allow me to not compensate into my low back, and I'm going to drive into that overhead position, double chin, and then the pressing motion. Most people are going to be the most comfortable in what we call the scapular plane, which will be pretty much my elbow at a 45-degree angle relative to this plane. So do your best to not press in this position, and we don't want you pressing way out to the side. We want to find the middle ground between those 2 points, and that's known as the scapular plane. That'll be the path of least resistance for your shoulder blade, and it will improve the coupling mechanics of the pressing motion. You're trying to bring that dumbbell down right to the top of the shoulder. We don't need to get way down below the shoulder with our hand. Pressing back up, trying to get all the way in the overhead position, reaching toward the ceiling. Really common compensations we see, again, low back arch, ribs open up, and then people doing a lot of side bending where they're using momentum to throw that weight overhead. If you do either of those, modify the activity. Double check to make sure this is the correct exercise for you, meaning that you don't lack overhead mobility, or you need to scale back to a lighter weight to allow for correct pressing mechanics.